Shai traditional area. Then we also have members from Gan traditional area. Gan traditional area. We have members from Osudoku traditional area. Osudoku traditional area. And we have members from Bom traditional area. Bom traditional area. We have members from Ngleshin Alata traditional area. Okay. Then we have members from Pram Pram traditional area. Then finally we have members from Adan traditional area. Adan traditional area. Okay. The acting president, may I also have your permission to introduce our revered paramount queen mothers who are here with us, to His Excellency the Vice President of the Republic. So we have Na Osabu Abe, the paramount queen mother for the Pram Pram traditional. Of the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs. Yes.
We'll do our introductions. Yeah. Ni President Fanaya Ishbami Masmoni Kegbeka Obaji Onupa Enifita His Excellency Keba Bielebine Kechon House. Shani ne Ojuba. Yo be majeshi keje Wacheniji, former Northern Regional Minister. Ne biane evita onupa eniwa His Excellency ke campaign Honorable Salifu Said. Fine. Ke woje no hue woye wo PC ni Legimoni Party ye shy ni ami edomo ni abafo oshiki anale ye nyumo wale na nebafi MP achole Benjamin Nagai Shibami ke woje eno wobaya wo mami neji the mayor of Accra Honorable Lisbeth Kwacho Saki Shibami agbene woye wo MCE ni ye shy ni amie Legimoni edomo His Excellency the President na achole Honorable Fred Ofe lehu obie oba sumo ake oba introduce wonyenu ni achole Gideon Buaku Legi His Excellency a spokesperson Panyafai Shibami ke woje no woya Honorable Insafwa efita onupa eni wa His Excellency the campaign fine wo communications team ni wo ketuo ni wo here wo mami ni ji Helen Dekun lehun fita team hekeba ke wo je lehun eno wo ye wo mami ni ji lawyer Ama Frimpoma lehun senior aide ni ewa His Excellency can campaign lehun obaji le gbogbo echonye ke je no maya former Minister for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs ni biane Legi CEO Keha Bui Authority. Leon is a senior aide to His Excellency in the campaign. Actually, Honorable Kofi Jameshi Yehishibami. Obateke Woba Onyenu Honorable Vice Hansen Ninoi Noti Yehishibami. Eves, well, of an Tema Central Member of Parliament. Yo, Kawaje no Womba CEO Keha National Lotteries. Bekuku mine awole the best CEO of the year. Niji Wanyenu Honorable Sami Ewuku Yehishibami. Kenja no wa former deputy minister Keha Transport Niji former national youth organizer Leon senior aide Keha His Excellency Achole Anthony Abayifa Kabo wa fine wa bacha introduction no. The former press secretary to His Excellency, former President John Ajekum Kufuor, Leon Ebachon, former General Secretary, Keha, the New Patriotic Party. When efita senior aides, Niji Mendi Wa His Excellency ke campaign ye Nuchumoni Wochuon, actually Honorable Engineer Kwabna Eje Ejapon. Ke wajeno wababa wache the former mayor of Accra the Biane Eji a member of the Council of State wono wachekome Honorable Stanley ni Achiri Blanksy Yehishibami ni Dakucho Ochi His Eminence, Honorable Ni Ajiri Blanksy. You waba introduce the next person, Niji Lawyer Wulu. Lenoji board chairman who can ha DVLA. Ni MPP ke campaign FLG yicho ke ha legal affairs. Lawyer Frank Davids. Okay. Kewaje no one back. Honorable Daniel Titus Glover Yeheshiba ni quartet Kewaje regional chairman no MPP ebede cashier the entire country oye yi chokome neji the chairman of the new patriotic party fair walile ake time aso Honorable Stephen Intim, Ayensu Intim, Yeheshibami. Ni acting president. Ni inshe if you are watch it. Ni mene ebashe Greater Accra. Greater Accra House of Chiefs. Nuchumo ni Awole as flag bearer and leader of the party. Poligana. Agbene eke nuchumo ebashe campaign ebashe Greater Accra. Ke ebashe biye Greater Accra. Ege nye boto Greater Accra ni eke mancheme. Ni mbe name eba ne ke amabashra ni eba bi eba ba. Jomo Kejabedi. War legit. Mokonik Menegana, Femo Chole, the digital man. Ni Eheshiba. Eji no koni mo femo, o sofwe, o nupai mancheme, mo femo, ko to, ni otnanoko, o kadikome, obake, oh, papa ne, Eheshiba. Ni esumo. Ni mufemo ke mufemo atuni kaji oje bukaji oje anafojo fe ke mufemo tuoni ni he is no other than the former Deputy Bank of Ghana enutumo wulune tuo ewo ebacho running mates the tuning His Excellency now, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Ametuni, now by a Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. Ni acting president. When Vice President Duchumo Etu le Keminjele. Ni MPP, a wole flag bearer and leader. A war His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. And by the divine grace of the Almighty God, Kenya Wamo, our next president of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Mahama Bawumia.
The acting president, shall we now have your opening remarks?
Sumake madam Oshien na je yon neno. Ya yo monu in town in Kenya yue he wo. In case ba fe nkpanye fai. Ashumi. Wo vice president ni eta wo hie ne. Eka wo ekwe ye chumi. Eka fai pa mo ehami. Ake nke ha ni me, ke na me, ke wulo me. Keme Fanny or Chunemi. Akaje, a here and Kai, ni Achawaka Wababi and a Lebi, Nile Ebashwande. She Bajanato Boni Yole. Kakolo Ejako se bon powerful. A boy or modern. A modern born no honey is a yakushine, is a blashy few. No, I can't keep Papa Mohani fan. Lele, what trashy eche. She, if you look. Mene, cow baby, well, learn by one. Your head or by Jew. No cacrashi bene, no here come all low. Young Bajano Tony. Yano of Fanwaka Jomokumeka Chikome. Akpone, the Papa Moneno, couldn't warm me. After all, Wabini. No kaji a little po, they were sure no. Yame, wabafu, alo bashum. Wabashum, Yeradon, Akanyango, 5 pamone, Kuni, one abody, where were he? Try, no manaba. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Minister for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Honorable Titus Glover, Regional Minister, Greater Accra, National and Regional Executives, Nime, Neneme, our noble Queen Mothers, representatives from our various traditional councils, members of the press, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. On behalf of my President of the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs, members of the House, staff, and the good people of the Greater Accra region, we bring warm greetings and felicitations to you all. On this occasion of your visit to our house, we wish to officially congratulate you, Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Mahama Bawumia, on your successful election as the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party for the upcoming 2024 general elections. As we gather here to listen to His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, on what his leadership vision is or will be, should the electors vote for him.
It works. Thank you very much. His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana and the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, permit me to and your colleagues for the late arrival. I spoke to my registrar and also spoke to you. We do apologize. The delay sometimes occurs because when you're on this journey, you got to take your time. It doesn't matter what time you start to listen. So there were delays in other programs that we started with. Once again, I hold your legs and I apologize. But, Mr. Acting President, we are also very grateful for the time you've taken to be here with us. It's not easy to prepare yourself and at a short notice to come and meet us. I know what goes on in the palaces. So we are very, so grateful you to be here. It shows your commitment to help partner with government for the development of the Greater Accra region and Ghana as a whole. Indeed, we're grateful for your role you play, especially since I would help him and my colleagues. Your requirements and needs are all addressed. But, Acting President, what we seek to do is to seek for blessing in the house. I'm not sure whether this is going to be when my boss starts speaking. I thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Indeed, he is from a royal house or royal palace, as I also do. And we do appreciate your efforts to help the country develop. There are peculiar issues in Greater Accra, which is the seat of government, and all government institutions are here. So he will take into account and address them. But on that note, I wish to, in all humility, and I also let me just say a little bit, and you touched on it. Our leader and flag bearer is very friendly, is very relaxed in terms of trying to listen to all of us and people he come across, but he's very
Dr. Kwame Nkrumah ba fele president. The gada mu enye fele president. A back constituency. Eya demosia she du keteke. No me eya prison. She gada mu na ndoko. Ye Dr. Nkrumah me. Na mlenja ma kofo na fili na weni no demosia she du keteke. Mene wakanye bi no ba hanye. Koni gadang me nye mwemi. Koni wakale ni wakwa. President ye kwa gudang. She nipi ne chuo. Ni wanyi hotase. Ni wana wanyingme no. Iye mokele kobe shibami. Akeka wake hiwale uwedie. Eba chu. Fibonu wanale ne. Uwa mlechwane. Wakwa fai. Dani eba yuye. Masumoni matu. Shidani neke babi ne ke hanye. She be mini work base acting president can do chumo kufuenye. Akanye tabo hene e afe bibio. Ne wo sana kwakoni amachu ekokula hanye. Nimo dromona. Dangwe ke odio no upio. Ne wa president ne ke fuenme mio. Ona wo mio ne ngaye digayo. Chufefo no. Na adela no egedi kwate mode active president kion ami madasinga yina ne no ne mama choma hanye lo huo kide huo ke haswa wake 1 million Ghana cedis wake ska baba ne waka je chusisi ne mawa ne wa yingbem jena se hu wanya wade dadaka nyo ke mlo boko ne watu kana ne me ipope mawoda ke daka ipope mo mle onane ko bone waketai ne okana na meke nana mekla ni nyetele nyawo ne kema wujo o makpale wa ba hie o ne wakla ne wa pikake ne wa twa ganga ne ngene masi ma woni jo nyekla ene wasuo ike isibami bloba ha wa vice president o ke MPP wa flag bearer ne ko ne tumunyo ma woni jo your excellency you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Regional Minister. Obuade Noche, King Professor Odaifio Welenchi III, our revered paramount chiefs here present, paramount queen mothers, our representatives of the various traditional councils, Willame here present, Nime, Name, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm most privileged, most honored to be before the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs today. I thank you all very, very, very much for making the time to be here. I even hear from what the regional minister tells me that some of you were here as early as 8 this morning. And you've had to sit all this while. I think there was a misinformation for us, and also delays that came in. So, we are very, very sorry for coming this late. I don't normally go late for meetings. It's not my style. And so I'm most sorry for the delays that have come in. And so I will beg, and I know that the acting president has already begged on our behalf. And I want to thank him very, very much for that. I am here as the flag bearer and presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party. And I have started going around the country as I'm putting my manifesto together. I am meeting all the key stakeholders in the regions as I am going to listen to the people, because God does not put wisdom on only one man's head, puts it all across the country. And so if you are a leader, you have to understand what is worrying the people, what it is that they want you to do for them, and not just come out and say, this is what I'm going to do for you without consultation. And this is why I am going around the country, and I have come to Greater Accra region, where I am also here and living in the region. I know that ultimately God chooses leaders for countries. And I know as chiefs, my beliefs and our tradition is that you, the chiefs, are closer to God than we are. And so when you pray, they listen. And so I am here, first of all, today as part of my Greater Accra regional tour, which I'm doing today and tomorrow. First of all, I cannot start moving around and doing many things without first coming here to ask permission, to ask for your blessings, and to ask for your prayers for the task that I am embarked upon. I have come a long way to be here today standing before you. When I look back, I can only thank God. I have been a by-day worker on a farm. I have been a cleaner of dormitories. I have been a taxi driver before. I have been a warehouse boy. I used to carry boxes very well. I have been a teacher. I have been a professor. I have been a deputy governor of the central bank. In August 2008, I was given 24 hours to make a decision whether I will accept a running mate position to enter politics. I was really not intending in my life ever to enter politics. But I had 24 hours in August 2008 to make the decision. I prayed a lot about it. In fact, that night I didn't sleep because I needed to make the decision the next day. And I agreed to come in the next day to join politics. And after 3 elections, 2016, God's favor was shone upon us, and we won the election in 2016, and I became vice president in 2017. And so when I look back at my life, I can only thank God for what has happened, for how far He has brought me. And today, as I am here to let you know that I am the flag bearer. Even getting here as flag bearer was not easy within our party. When I decided to contest for flag bearer position, many people said it will not happen because I am from a minority tribe in the country. And if you look at our party over the years, we have only presented Akan leaders. for our party. So many people were almost labeling us as an Akam party, even though it wasn't the case. So what? I am from a minority tribe from the north. I also happen to be Muslim. And so they said that, look, when you look at the mathematics, the MPP electorate, largely Akan, largely Christian, they are not going to vote for you, to a minority, to come and lead the party. And this is the battle that we were fighting. But I was very confident. I said, if by the grace of God, God says I should lead the party, I will lead the party. It will make it possible. And that is why I continued that battle. And by the grace of God, God made it possible. And I won the election to be leader of the MPP. And this is why my campaign slogan is that with God, it is possible. With God, it is possible. I believe that we should all think in the realm of possibilities. And God can use anybody to change a country. You look at the story of the Bible, and you have Cyrus. Cyrus did not know God, but God used him to change the welfare of the people of Israel. God used him. I come from a family. My father had 17 surviving children. Hey, he wasn't playing. We are 17 who are surviving. But it's an interesting situation I grew up in because 9 of my brothers and sisters were Christian and 8 of us were Muslim. The same family. So we had both the Bible and the Quran in the house. And so religious tolerance for me started right from childhood. I was a member of the Methodist Boys Brigade as a child. Today, I'm a vice president. I am a Muslim, but I am a patron of the Methodist Boys Brigade of Ghana. So I believe in tolerance. I believe in respect for everybody. And this is why I believe that I can bring this nation together. We are a very peaceful nation, and we can continue with that peace. The reason why the MPP voted for me to lead the party was largely because of how much work I had done. As the acting president has said already, that my work spoke for me. They looked at my work and what I had done for this country as vice president. And they said that they are not going to vote on the basis of religion or tribe. They are going to vote on the basis of competence. And they voted for me on the basis of what I had done. I had very, very keen interest in education, because when I looked at how countries such as South Korea have progressed, the Asian tigers, the key was education. Key was education. And so this is why I was pushing very hard from the beginning, before we came into office, for the implementation of the free senior high school education. Because every economic statistic for development says that at the end of the day, the education levels, especially at the tertiary level, makes a big difference. South Korea has a tertiary enrollment rate of 94%. That's very, very high. Ghana has 14%. So the gap is very high. So how do we get our children into the tertiary education? First, you have to get them out of senior high school. Without that, they won't get into. So the free senior high school education was to help us get our children up into tertiary and also get education. Acting President Nima Name, the free senior high school education has worked a lot for us. When we came into office, only 800,000 students were in senior high school. So from independence to 2016, we ended with 800,000 after 60 years of independence. 800,000 in senior high school. When we implemented the free senior high school, after 7 years in 2023, we have moved from 800,000 to 1.4 million students in senior high school. So after 60 years, we had 800,000. And in 7 years, we added 600,000. That is 75% increase. And so many people who could not go to senior high school suddenly had an opportunity. They could now afford to because it was free. And then the performance also has gone up. The core 6 subjects in senior high school WACC examination, the pass rate was 41% in 2016. Today is 64%, the core subjects. So the performance has gone up. And what gladdens my heart also is that more girls are going to senior high school than boys. Today, in 2016, for every 100 girls, every 100 boys, there were 68 girls. Today, for every 100 boys, there are 106 girls. So the girls have taken over in that sense, and it's a good sign for us. I've also been able, as vice president, to focus on making Ghana ready for the 4th industrial revolution, the digital age. That is very, very important. I wrote a book in 2010, that is before I became vice president. I wrote a book saying that Africa and Ghana as a whole needs to start getting ready for the 4th industrial revolution. Otherwise, we will miss it. It is the digital age, and we have to be part of it. And so, over the last 7 years, I have been focusing on solving a lot of problems by making sure Ghana doesn't fall behind in the digital age. I thought that it was important to even do things that had not been done in the advanced countries. And so the first thing that we needed to do was to get digital identity, the Ghana card. Many advanced countries in the world have not yet had digital identity. The European Union is asking all the EU countries to issue the Ghana card equivalent by 2030. They've given all their countries up to 2030 to issue it. The United States of America has not yet started. They have now started discussing to issue the digital ID in the United States. But we have come into office, we've issued digital IDs, almost 18 million of Ghana cards have been issued. And not only have we done it for the adults, now even for babies who are born in Ghana today, if you take the baby for a weigh-in at the hospital, weigh-in, the baby is going to be given 2 identities, the Ghana card ID and the birth certificate ID at the same time. I believe we are the only country in the whole world that is able to do this, because we have integrated the database of the NIA with the Ghana Health Service, with the births and deaths registry. And so we are able to issue the babies the Ghana card ID and the birth certificate ID at the same time. On the 17th of June, that is this month, we will start going to the schools in the whole of Ghana to issue the children from 6 years all the way to 15 their Ghana card IDs. So we will have everybody covered from babies to the school children to the adults. And this is something which is very, very important for us. The Ghana card ID, it has helped us deal with corruption in the payroll. The ghost worker problem was a big problem, acting president. Big problem. So I brought the suggestion that every government worker should be linked to their Ghana card. Why? Because every Ghana card has the fingerprints of the worker. But ghosts don't have fingerprints. So once we linked the Ghana card number to the workers, the ghosts all ran away. So in the national service, we found 44,000 ghost workers. One place, National Service Secretary, 44,000. They disappeared when we linked the Ghana card to the workers. We saved 420 million Ghana cedis just at one place. We went to Senate. We found 29,000 ghost pensioners. We saved over 300 million Ghana cedis. 2 institutions alone, almost 750 million. Just two of savings. And we've cleaned the whole payroll of the Controller and Accountant General. So today, thanks to the Ghana card, we can say we've solved the problem of ghost workers. In Ghana, the Ghana card has also become your tax identification number. It has become your SNIT number. It has become your national health insurance number. We have even linked the Ghana card to the ICAO database. ICAO stands for International Civil Aviation Organization, which is in Canada. We took the Ghana card, everything to Montreal. It went through all the rigorous testing. And now it is part of the ICAO system. It means that if any Ghanaian, and it has happened to many Ghanaians now, goes abroad and your passport gets missing, you can take your Ghana card and board a plane and come back to Ghana. It will be accepted in 44,000 airports and border entries in the world because it is now part of the ICAO system. We are one of the few countries in the world whose identity card, digital ID card, is part of the ICAO system. And before the end of this year, we are opening the e-gates at the Kotoka International Airport, the electronic gates. It means if you are a Ghanaian and you arrive at Kotoka International Airport, you no longer need to go to immigration. You go to the e-gates, put your Ghana card, it will open, and you enter the country. And so this is what we have done. The next thing I worked on was on the issue of financial access to financial services, bank accounts, and so on. Only 30% of our population had a bank account. 30%. The rest of us had Momo numbers, Momo accounts. But the Momo accounts were only internal, because if you had an MTN Momo account, you couldn't send money to Vodafone. You could only send money to someone who was MTN. And you couldn't send money to a bank account. And no bank account could send money to a Momo account. So I called all the telcos and I said, we want to do what we call mobile money interoperability so that we can send money across the networks. I called the banks. I said, you also have to be part of it. We'll be able to send money from a Momo account to a bank account and vice versa. Initially, they were resisting, but I stood very firm. Some of them I called their bosses in South Africa and brought them here, and we had a meeting. I said, this is where Ghana wants to go. It had never been done in Africa, never. But we insisted, and today you can send Momo from your bank to the Momo account. You can send funds. You can send from one MTN to Telecel, from Telecel to Tigo. This is all done. And today, when they send you remittance from abroad, it comes onto your mobile phone. You no longer need to go to Western Union. And Ghana is the first country in the whole of Africa to do mobile money interoperability. The first country in the whole of Africa. And they haven't done it in the United States. They haven't done it in Canada. They haven't done it in the UK. We are ahead of them. And this is why I say it is possible for us to move ahead of some of these advanced countries in some of these areas. The other area I looked at was our address system. We did not have a working and a functional national address system in Ghana. If you wanted to find something, you have to say, when you get here, you see a cocoa seller on the right, and take the right, and you see the blue house, and take the left, the big tree, and if you are not lucky and the cocoa seller doesn't come out, you are in trouble. And so we said that you can't, any modern economy must have an address system. Today, if you go to US, Canada, Germany, and you collapse their address system, just the address system, the economy will grind to a halt. Nothing will work. Everything depends on addresses. So we needed to find a solution. After 60 years of independence, we didn't have an address system. And I said, look, today's world, we have GPS technology. Let us move to a digital address system so that everywhere will have an address. Whether you are living in Nima, or you are living in East Legon, you are living in Tamale, or you are living in Wa, or essentially everywhere in Ghana will have, every location, every property will have an address system. So we implemented the digital address system in Ghana. And it has now been done. It is working very well. Today, if someone is coming to your house, you just have to give them your digital address. They'll drive there. There's no issue anymore. You don't need the cocoa seller to be out at that time. And you will go. And Ghana, our own dear country, is only the second country in the whole world to implement a national digital address system. The whole world, we are the second country to do so. And it is helping prepare us for that. We also have brought in one of the things that is really helping across Ghana now, which is drones to deliver medicine. Drones, medical drone delivery. I had a personal experience, one in September 2002, when my father had an operation in Tamale, and we needed blood that night. That night, he was bleeding. We rushed to the blood bank. It was locked. We tried to get the person who operated the blood. He was gone. We couldn't find him. We tried different numbers. We couldn't find him. Before the morning, my father had died. So it stuck with me. And when I heard that, this is after I became vice president, I heard there was a company in San Francisco called Zipline Drones. I read about what they had done and that they were delivering medicines to the remote parts of different countries. And that technology allows delivery of blood. If a pregnant mother is giving birth and losing blood, they can bring medicine quickly. A snake bite on the farm, you need anti-snake serum very quickly. The drones can bring it in and all of that. So I said, no, if this technology was there, my father probably would have been alive. We would have had blood delivered as quickly as possible. So I took a team and we went to San Francisco. And I went to meet the founder of the drone services. And I said, I want you to come to Ghana and establish in Ghana. After some discussion, he agreed that he will visit Ghana. 2 weeks later, he was here. And then we have established 6 medical drone delivery centers so far in Ghana. We are delivering to 2,800 health facilities. Every day, each of the centers does an average of about 100 flights. And it is being managed, 100% managed by Ghanaians. 100% managed by Ghanaians. No white person is there doing it for us. Our young men and women are managing the drone deliveries. And we are saving lives every day. But what is so interesting about this story is that today, in the context of the whole world, Ghana is the largest medical drone delivery service in the whole world. We have taken the lead. And what is interesting, acting president, Nime Name, is 2 months ago or so, 2 months ago, the company that we went to bring this technology from in the world were looking to hire somebody. They did, and they came to Ghana to hire one of our Ghanaians to take him to San Francisco to lead a team on medical drone flight operations in San Francisco. Amazing. But Ghana has now taken the lead in there. We are also networking our hospitals. One of the biggest problems in our hospitals is medical records. You can go and ask for your folder and they'll tell you it's missing. They've not found it. Your whole medical history cannot be found. So we have said that we will digitalize all the medical records and all the hospitals, clinics, CHIPS compounds, everything, and network all the hospitals so that they can talk to each other. And we did that for all the teaching hospitals complete, all the regional hospitals complete, all the district hospitals complete. So today, if they refer you from Dodowa to Kolebu, you no longer need to take your folder to Kolebu. Just take your ID number. You get to Kolebu. Once they enter it, all your medical records will be showing right now for the doctors to act. So by next year, we hope that we would have covered every hospital, clinic, and CHIPS compounds for all of this. And it is going to really continue to help us in there. Today, if you are at home, you can buy electricity with your mobile phone because we've digitalized the electricity purchase program on your mobile phone. Even if you are not in Ghana, you are in China, you can still buy electricity for your house in Ghana. If you are in UK, you can still buy electricity for your house in Ghana. That doesn't exist in the United States or in the UK or in Canada. We have gone up ahead of them in this as well. Today we can enroll on national health insurance on our mobile phone. It's very easy, very simple. And you don't need to go and pay or bribe or sleep outside the NHIA office. So these are some of the things that I have been doing. Brought the idea of one constituency, one ambulance, Agenda 111, goal for oil policy. I can list at least about 33 different policy initiatives that I, as Vice President, have been able to bring to Ghana. And Nime Namaya, this is why I'm saying that if I have been able to do this in my limited position as Vice President, then if you, by your grace and your prayers and your support, if you make me President, I'll be able to do much more for this country. I'll be able to do much, much more for this country. I believe that the vision that I have for Ghana is a number of things that I want to do. First of all, I believe that agriculture should be our number one focus. Agriculture, farming, large-scale, irrigated, mechanized farming. We should invest a lot in agriculture and support our farmers. I think we should really, really get technology involved in agriculture, reduce the risk by doing more precision agriculture. So I want my government to focus a lot on agriculture. And when I say agriculture, I also include fishing in that whole context, right? So we should focus a lot in the support for our farmers and fisher folks. Secondly, I want to reduce the cost and then increase the reliability of electricity. We have dealt with this problem for a very long time, having problems with electricity generation. And the cost is also very high because we are relying on oil and gas to generate electricity. Oil and gas is also expensive. When there is a problem in the Middle East today, which has nothing to do with us, suddenly oil prices will go up, and then fuel prices go up, transport prices go up, food prices go up, and then we have a problem. So I want Ghana to move away from oil and gas and go for solar power. Solar power is the key to our freedom in terms of power generation. because solar power is free. I mean, practically God has given us the sun free. We are even running away from the sun. But we don't have to pay to import the sun into Ghana. Oil, we have to import it. The sun is shining every day. It's given to us for free. And so I want us to bring in 2,000 megawatts of solar power in the next 4 years. 2,000 megawatts means that is more than half our consumption. So you take that and you add it to the Akosombo, then we will reduce the cost of power that we pay by at least 50%. At least 50%. And that will change everything, and we will make power very reliable. The days will not come when they say the sun is no longer shining in Ghana. We will always have the sun. This is a gift from God if we look at it that way. But I don't want us to just import solar panels to make solar power. I want us to set up the factories to make the solar panels in Ghana and create the jobs. 2,000 megawatts is a lot of solar panels. If we just import the solar panels, then we haven't done anything. We are going to have to do the manufacturing of the panels here. And so my team is beginning those discussions to make sure that we don't waste time when, by the grace of God, we get the opportunity to lead. We want to do the discussions now and know who are coming to set up the factories to manufacture the solar panels for us, and we will get it done. So that is very, very important for us. I also want to change the tax system of Ghana. Why do I want to do that? We've inherited this tax system from the colonial days, but it isn't helping us. GRA and so many businesses and individuals are always in fights over their tax liabilities. And our tax system is too complicated. Sometimes they will bring a tax bill to a business or an individual, and they don't even know how it was calculated. And they will tell you, if you don't pay, we'll shut down your shop. And they shut down many shops. And so I want a tax system that is easy to understand, very easy to enforce, easy to comply with. I had my team do the research, and we looked at all the tax systems in the world to see which is the most tax efficient and most tax competitive. We found that Estonia, the country of Estonia, was the most tax competitive country in the world. The last 10 years, every year they are number one. So I said, what is happening in Estonia? I took a team and we went to Estonia. I went to meet the president, the prime minister, the revenue authorities. We had a series of meetings. And I came back very convinced that Estonia, the model of Estonia, is a flat tax system. Flat tax. If it's 10%, everybody is paying 10%. There's no complication in that calculation. It's 10%. It's like when we go to church and we have to pay tithe. Right? The tithe is 10%, isn't it? Everybody knows how much it is. It's easy to calculate. Sometimes you don't even need a calculator to calculate the 10%. So Estonia has found that this flat tax system has really helped them in making sure everybody is covered in paying the tax, because everybody knows that this is how much you have to pay. So you know your tax. There's no kululu in that matter. It's clearly defined. And therefore, next year, if by the grace of God I am president, we want to introduce the flat tax system. But to start it, I want everybody to start on a clean, fresh plate. Everybody to be on the same page. So next year, we will offer a tax amnesty to all businesses. Forgive all your taxes for businesses and individuals, and we will start on the same page for all businesses and individuals, so that we will get a lot of forgiveness. In fact, a few weeks ago, I went to the Vatican to have audience with His Holiness the Pope. And then after my meeting with the Pope, our Cardinal Peter Texin, who is there, took me around the basilica to show me different parts of the basilica. And when we were going around, there were some people doing some work somewhere. And I asked, what is going on here? Cardinal Texin told me, we are making preparations for next year. It is the Jubilee year. I said, what is the Jubilee year? What does it mean? He says, well, this is the year where there's a lot of forgiveness in this year. I said, that is good. Then that means 2025, I'm also going to forgive taxes in Ghana. And it is very consistent with the Jubilee year. So we will have that. And the tax amnesty will be a good injection to many businesses, because it will take off this burden of taxes that they are faced with at the moment, and it will really relieve them. And the next issue I want to deal with in our tax reform is our import duty regime. I found out that there is a problem that, maybe was inadvertently created over the years. There is no predictability in our import duty regime. You can import something and think that you are going to pay 10,000 cedis. When you get to the port and they give you the bill, it's 20,000 cedis. They'll say, the exchange rate has moved. The valuation has changed. There's no predictability. So when they say it's 20,000 cedis, if you pay, when you get to the market, you increase your prices. If you cannot pay, they confiscate the goods, and they may sell it to somebody for 5,000 cedis. So we need predictability in our import duty regime. And therefore, the proposal I have is that we should reset our import duties by way of flat taxes in cedis. Flat taxes at the port in cedis. What does it mean? It means that if you are a spare parts dealer in Abosokai and you are bringing in spare parts, for 40-foot container, you should know in cedis how much the duty is. It's a flat rate. Say, for example, 20,000 cedis for a 40-foot container. No matter when the goods arrive, you are paying 20,000. That is it. You can plan that this is how much my duty is. If it's a 20-foot container, 10,000. You pay. There's no exchange rate matter. You are pricing in cedis. If it is rice, you are bringing in 40-foot container, this is how much it is. 20-foot container, this is how much it is. And so on. So we set it flat rate. Because if you don't set a flat rate and the rates keep going up for the traders, they will keep increasing the prices in the markets. So there will be an inflationary bias there. And so we want to change the current regime to a flat regime in cedis. So then you will have predictability and you will not have all of that. Second area I want to change is to realign Ghana's import duties to the port of Lome. Why do I say so? Because currently the Lome duties are lower than ours. So because of that, people rather go and clear their containers in Lome and smuggle the goods into Ghana. That's what is happening. And we don't get the duties for the revenue. So I have a simple solution to this. To bring a policy that says Ghana's import duty will not be higher than Lome's import duty. We will be the same or lower. Immediately we do that, the smuggling will stop. It will stop immediately. And so those are the two reforms that I want to bring in the import duty regime so that we can have. I also want a much closer relationship between chiefs and government. I think we have made a mistake as a country because we have sidelined the chieftaincy institution in the governance of our country. And we are paying a heavy price as a country in doing so. We don't have discipline in a lot of our society because the chiefs don't even have the power to summon. people to the palace, it becomes a problem. And so there's no discipline. And I don't know how it has increasingly happened, but we have to go back and make amends. So I'm proposing a review and an amendment of Section 63D of the Chieftaincy Act. And this is what my manifesto committee is recommending also. That we amend Section 63D of the Chieftaincy Act and give more power back to the chiefs. Give more power back to the chiefs. That will help government. Because there are so many cases that come to court that should not come to court. They could have been solved in the palaces. But they rather go to court, and they've clogged the court system. So we need to re-empower the chiefs, amending Section 63D, which would be a priority of mine. And then to be able to get the chieftaincy institution to really play its proper role, financially, the institution needs to be resourced. Because you can't give them responsibility without resources. So the recommendation that has come, which we are going to we put in the manifesto, is to make sure that we pay living wages to the chieftaincy institution. And by this, I mean the paramount chiefs currently is 1,000 cedis a month. Even to attend a meeting, it may not be enough for petrol. There is no payment for the queen mothers. There is no payment for the divisional chiefs. And so we need to pay living wages, or living allowances that they call it, to the paramount chiefs, to the divisional chiefs, and also to the queen mothers. I think if we did that, if we do that, then you will see that the chieftaincy institution will be empowered. Will be empowered to take decisions that help the government. I want us to be close. And this is why, even in the mining areas, I'm proposing that the chiefs become part of the district mining committees. No mining license can be given without the chiefs knowing about it right from the beginning. We will have to now start to re-empower the chiefs to help us to govern this country. The second area of reform that I want to see in the area of chiefs and the disputes that come is the codification of the lines of succession. We have not been able to do it. And the judicial councils have to be empowered, because if we don't do the codification, you'll find so many chieftaincy disputes. Many of the time, people who are not related to the stool in any way come and lay claims to it. They have no relation, because we haven't codified the lines of succession. And we need to codify it. So we are going to give the resources to the judicial councils to be able to complete the codification of the lines of succession. And that will be very, very important for us, because then you will know ab initio who is qualified and who is not qualified. There is a vacuum, a big lacuna right now, where everybody can just get up and claim. If you have money, I can come and claim your chieftaincy position and just create confusion, go to court for years and years, but you don't have status, you don't have a claim. So the codification right now is something that I'm going to really push for the House of Chiefs, all the judicial councils to help. And I just been told that the lawyers, acting president told me, mentioned that the lawyers don't have conditions of service, retirement packages, and so on. I hear that it's the Attorney General who appoints the lawyers. So I will be having a discussion, because that also has to be rectified. With the nature of the work we want the House of Chiefs and the chieftaincy institutions to perform, we have to rectify all of that. The another major area that in the area of chieftaincy that I want us to deal with is land. Land digitalization is very, very important. that we want to make sure that the ownership of the lands is clear. Because again, without clarity of the ownership, you have confusion. And that is the bane of the problem. That we should clarify, map, and all of that so that it's clear, so that you can know that if you go here and this is the land, this tool has the land, and this is the place you have to go for title. We want it so that you can check on your mobile phone who owns the land. We need clarity. And that is very, very important. So the process of digitalizing that process will begin. And we will digitalize the land ownership. I know very, very well, Acting President mentioned it in his statement. Greater Accra, it's a special case actually, when you think about it. Because as the Acting President has said, the capital city, gateway, to this country, the seat of government, there is a problem because hosting the capital city has costs for the people of the Ghana state. It has costs for the people of the Ghana state because everybody is coming here, isn't it? The demand for land is higher than anywhere else, isn't it? So we have to look at it as a special case. We have to understand the issues that are here. So I have a committee which is being chaired by the Greater Accra Regional Minister to look into this issue for us. We need to, because there are a lot of land acquisitions that government has made that maybe are not being used for what they were acquired for. We need to look at how we deal with all of those. The Ghana language, which may be dying in many places. Why? Because so many different people come here. And so how do we protect the Ghana language? How do we protect it? How do we protect the Ghana language? Because it's a real issue. The culture of a people is in trouble. How do we protect it? Of course, with everybody here, how do we get indigenous access to some of the institutions? Because everybody wants their child to go to a school here. Everybody is coming. Are the indigenous able to get access like everybody else? So I want this committee, which will finish its work very soon, to come out. We'll have a discussion with you. But there is a special case that we need to make for the Ghana state for hosting the capital. And in the areas of land and language and culture and all of that. And I'm very, very aware of that. And we are going to deal with this issue with you, in consultation with you. We are going to deal with this issue with you. It's a major issue that we should do. Nime Name, it's very important that I make my views very clear on LGBTQ+. Our traditions and cultures don't agree with it. Our religion, whether it's Christianity or Islam, don't agree with it. So we will never agree to LGBTQ+ in Ghana. It's no, no, and no. No matter what the consequences are, we will hold firmly to our values. Our values, African values, our religion, our culture, we will not accept it. So I want to give that assurance to Nime Name that as president, there's no way that we will allow that in Ghana. There's not going to be anything like that in Ghana. I want to also say that my vision, my focus is going to be a lot on job creation. Jobs for the youth will be key. Agriculture is one area. Tourism is another area. The creative arts is another growth pool for the youth. Sports, another growth pool for the youth. Digital skills. I want to train, because today you can sit in Ghana and work in the United States or in Australia. Once you have digital skills, you can on your laptop be working in foreign countries without even traveling there, but you are working every day. And the acquisition of digital skills is not meant for the people who have gone to school and gotten certificates in university. Even school dropouts, we can give them digital skills. School dropouts, as long as you can read and write, we'll train you to do coding, we'll train you to do software engineering and software development. It's practical. And so my goal is to train 1 million youth in Ghana in digital skills and give them opportunities to do jobs in Ghana and jobs abroad. And we will get there very, very quickly. As I bring my remarks to a close, I say that there are a number of reasons why I believe you should support me, should pray for me to become the president of this country. I believe that if you look at my record as vice president, I believe most people I can say will say that I have been the most impactful vice president in the history of Ghana. And if I've been able to be the most impactful vice president, it tells you that if you make me president, I will be one of the most impactful presidents as well. And then the important thing also is that I'm coming to you with the hope to be a president for 8 years. That's very important. I am hoping to be a president for 8 years. So after 4 years, I'll have to come back to the house and account for what I have done in 4 years before you give me a renewal of my license to drive the car for another 4 years. So with me, you will have accountability for 8 years. With my opponent, once you give him 4 years, he goes for honeymoon, you won't see him again until he hands over. There's no accountability. But for me, you will get accountability. I'll be back for another term, and you ask me, what did you do with your 4 years? So I believe that I will be able to account for what I have done in that case. We are also moving into the digital age. The whole world is moving into the digital age. Ghana has to move into that digital age. And you see the things I'm doing to help us. I believe that of all the presidential candidates, I'm the one who is the best positioned to take Ghana into the digital age. I think that we have, before I sit down, let me say that I've heard and I've gotten a copy of the acting president's speech. We also had a small meeting before we came here. And as I look at your building, it's almost, frankly, shameful. Frankly. I think we need to do something about it. And I know that you have a whole good plan that is here. And we are contributing immediately for work to start, and we'll look at how we get the financing for the rest of it. It has to be done. So we are going to work towards it for you. But we are giving some money, which President has already announced for something to start. I'm going to be focused on it. The second thing, President gave me a choice, actually. Said the council, the House of Chiefs needed a bus, but also needed a building. So I should choose one. So I said, okay, let's start with the building. But on second thoughts, I think I'm going to buy a bus for you as well. So we are going to bring you the bus as well as soon as possible, so that it will help your work. I want you, honestly, to take me as your son. I'll be there for you. I will listen to you. I'll listen to your issues, and we'll work together. I believe we can work together. I'm there, not for myself, but for all of us. So please, pray for me, and may God bless you. I believe we'll be back again to talk, and I need your support. God bless you.
From 2 questions from our Queen Mothers, and then 3 other questions from other people.
Excuse me.
Either questions or suggestions. Jema.
Before that,
Yes.
with your kind permission, please, I think I want to introduce Honorable Ayikwe Otu, who is a former ambassador to Canada and former Attorney General and President of the Kadangwe Council, please. Thank you so very much, Mr. President.
Please, we are only allotting 1 minute to each person for the question.
Thank you very much. Ni Acting President, Your Excellency, the Vice President and the flag bearer of MPP, I want to suggest something. We've had a privilege, some privilege to travel around the world. And if we take UK, for example, just as you mentioned, the dukes, the royals are part of the government. I want to suggest that assessing passport in our country, Ghana, is one of the most difficult things that one can talk about. We have the president of the regional house that only comes here to sit on cases, which of course doesn't bring much into the regional house. If it is possible that we can expand the passport offices and made the president of the regional house assign passport for the region, and I'm not talking for Greater Accra region alone, but if it's possible that it can be practiced in all the 60 regions in Ghana, so that the president could be part of the governance. Because if I'm in Dodowa and I can walk to the regional house here to access passport, it will be very easy for me to do that. Though we have digitized the passport accessibility, but it's still not helping us, to be very honest. My second suggestion is that we are aware that sooner or later the candidate is going to choose a running mate. I want to make a passionate appeal that if Gadangme can be considered, and for that matter, a female, so that Naname will also feel part of the governance. I think that is enough. The last thing I want to say is to thank the government for the re-expansion of the Dodowa Adenta Road. Thank you very much.
Yes, one from here, one more. Ni Ayukwe.
Ni mega name. Nyang befio ninke watche Vice President abiefio. Ake ike bo wotuiwa. Good afternoon. The project will be handed over to the Ministry of Transport from the Ports and Harbour Department. As custodian owners of the land, several attempts have been made by us to meet with the Minister of Transport, but to no avail. The purpose of our meeting would have been to discuss the management and running of the harbour after completion. We were eventually able to meet the mayor of Accra, she's here now, who assured us of the meeting, but as of yet, that has not taken place. The question I would like to ask is, will the chiefs, elders be included in the making of decisions regarding the management of the harbour? I am taking this opportunity to appeal to you, Mr. Vice President, for the government to include us, the chiefs, elders, the chief fishermen of Jamestown, to involve us in the management and decision making concerning the harbour. Honorable Driver Smith, it is possible. Mr. Digital, come to our aid. We have a lot of problems, but this unemployment is one of them. Thank you.
Please, last.
Ni acting president, Your Excellency, the vice president and the presidential candidate for the MPP. My name is Ni Ajepofe IV, the Lashkiteli. Our acting president has put out things that needs to be done for the Gadangme people or the Gadangme area. We know it will take a bit of time for them to be considered. You've made us aware that you have commissioned some of your team members to work on some of the issues. But there are some of the issues that are currently brewing or outstanding. Some have been concluded. You spoke about clarity when you digitalized land. There are certain land issues that have been settled with utmost clarity. But some government agencies are being adamant or dragging to let the rightful people or the beneficiaries have their land. A case in point is the land issues with the military. We engaged government on that. We had deliberations for years. We've received executive approval from the president and the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces himself. I know Your Excellency, you are the chairman of the Armed Forces Council, and you are very much aware of that. But as we speak now, the military is preventing the La people from having their land. Land that has been duly released to us with all documentations completed. So it is our humble appeal, knowing you as a peaceful person, to prevail upon the military to respect the law, because it makes all the work that we've gone through to come to naught. That we've I don't want to go too hard, but as if we wasted our time for all those years, and the military will say they are not going to allow us to have the land, and it is even not in good taste for the president as the commander-in-chief, for his appointees, something that he has affirmed or approved, for them to say they are not going to go by it. And it is going to create tension between us and the military, which might extend to the government, which we wouldn't want. So it is our humble appeal again that you prevail upon the military. Just tell them the La people are coming for their land, and we want no impediment, since any impediment in our way will bring issue. This is not a threat, though. It's a humble appeal.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much. Digital Bawumia. I want to add my voice to what Nene Ajima just said. On your selection of a mate who is going to be your vice, yes, I'll also appeal a Gadangbe person should be considered, and a woman as such. So we are hoping and trusting in you that you nominate a woman to be your running mate. Thank you very much. A woman. Yes, or a man, but we need a woman. Okay, or a man from Gandangbe, but a woman for that matter. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think the running mate matter is very hot. The suggestions are clear, and I will take them on advisement. I think that the questions have been very varied, and the first one was on passports and accessing passports that has become difficult, even after digitalization. In fact, I'm very conscious of that. When we were doing the Ghana card, I asked for the passport application form to make sure, because I was anticipating this, that all the questions on a passport application form are also found on the Ghana card application form. And we made sure of that. And so we are coming up, by the grace of God, next year with a new passport application policy for Ghanaians. If you have a Ghana card, you will no longer need to fill a passport application form. You just give your Ghana card number, pay the fee, and they will print your passport for you. So because you have the biometrics, your pictures, everything, so that you don't go through all the hassle anymore. Get to the website on your mobile phone, use your Momo, pay for the fee, and they will deliver your passport for you to make it very easy for Ghanaians. So this is what we are going to do. The issue of the Jamestown Harbour, I'm going to direct the Greater Accra Regional Minister to bring the Transport Minister for a meeting, because I think that they've been trying to meet the Transport Minister without success. So I'll also be following up on it. Please have a meeting. It's very, very important that the chiefs are involved, informed about the how we are going to manage the Jamestown Harbour, and I think it's only in our interest for us to involve the chiefs. There is also the issue of the land issues. Niaje was talking about the settled issues, especially the live one that we all know about as far as law is concerned. This is under very serious discussion and consideration, and the Commander-in-Chief himself is very much aware of it and trying to see how we resolve it. It has to be resolved, and so we are working on it, and I think you'll be hearing from us. So it is a very, very important one. I think those are the key ones, apart from the two running mate questions, that suggestions that came up, which are very, very strong. I want to thank all of you, and you'll be hearing back from me. Thank you very much.
Acting President, Yeshibami, Enui, Wakanichu Vasheke Baba, Wabak Pafai, Kuni, Wabigbe, Ijaka Wajabi, Wanichumanyo, Moya Nuachu, or Madam His Excellency Naniami, many years a fan work about Mangochida, and Gap President, all the Parliament chiefs and criminals, Ninja Bia Shanine. One night, Vice Etanitri ne Waka Fai Kuni Yedumese, the Jacket Nibi Papa, the here can get done with Kagana Fair, Kuni Yabami, ye Wadon Nanima Johnny.
Hello. Hello. Okay, that's one. Because of time, I would not like to bother you too much with a whole lot. But I want to do something different as far as my closing remarks is concerned. But before that, what our ladies have requested for, a lady for your vice, is all important to us. You said we must be treated a special regime. This is the beginning of the special regime. So carry on. The original House of Chiefs and all its members are telling you that, courage, brother, do not stumble. Though thy path be dark as night, there is a star to guard the humble. Trust in God and do the right.
Thank you very much. Ni acting. Please, from here, after the closing prayer, His Excellency will join our revered chiefs for the photographs. Yes, we'll make arrangements. So, shall we please call upon the Deputy Registrar once again for the closing prayer?
Merciful Father, we thank you for a successful meeting. Before we began, we called on you and you answered us. We are once again calling on you as we depart from this place, that you grant us traveling mercy to our various destinations. And we pray that the deliberations of this meeting will be implemented. These and many others we ask through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you very much. As we make arrangements for the photographs,